It's Wolf, and I just wanted to talk about Fallen Earth for a few minutes. I've been trying to do a lot more categorization of my videos lately, but this one doesn't really fall into anything specific. I just wanted to talk about this game. This is a video idea that I meant to make quite a while ago, but then ended up not making it for a few reasons, which I'll discuss in a minute. But I'm actually currently in the process of going through this big list of video ideas that I had from forever ago and trying to finish all of them before I start on anything new, and this was one of them. So the primary reason why I didn't make this video sooner: there were weird people in the game's chat. And that might sound like a small thing, but it was when the game first relaunched, I don't know if the moderators weren't there or if the people just hadn't been banned yet or what, but I'm not going to get into exact specifics about what they were saying. But there was just two times, I think, where I logged into the game separately, and there were just people being, creeps in the game's chat. And that might seem like a weird reason to put off making a video for 2 entire years, and that wasn't the whole reason, but that was initially why I put off making this video, because even though the behavior of players is not necessarily the fault of the developers, I didn't want to possibly push anybody into a game where they were going to encounter any of the weird type of stuff that those people were saying back then. So since then, though, when I played it more recently, I haven't encountered any weird people like that or anything. And of course, you can just close the chat and, ignore people and block people and stuff like that. But anyway, that was the main thing that made me not make the video right then. I wanted to wait a while until the game got into a state with better moderation, or at least a state where the creepy people seemed to have left, and it does seem to be in that state now. And the other reason also why I didn't make the video sooner was because right after the game initially got relaunched, I started working to save up money for grad school, then I went off to grad school, and now I'm back from grad school, and so yeah, just didn't get around to it till now. Nonetheless, Fallen Earth. You have probably heard of this game if you, like me, were interested in Fallout and MMOs back in the early 2010s, because if you searched for Fallout MMO, this is probably what you were going to find. Now, this is not an actual Fallout MMO, but the reason why it gets a lot of those comparisons is because it is pretty similar, and also this game came out at nearly the same time as Fallout New Vegas. This actually came out a year earlier than Fallout New Vegas. This came out in 2009, New Vegas came out in 2010, and alongside coming out at around the same time, they also have very similar settings because they're both set around the Hoover Dam sort of area and in a post-apocalyptic world with a lot of creatures and stuff like that. If you look at Fallen Earth, it does look very similar to Fallout New Vegas, and it is similar in overall concept, but once you actually start playing Fallen Earth, you will see that there are quite a few differences from the Fallout franchise as a whole. The whole plot is totally different. There's stuff with clones, and that's kind of the main plot of this game, is that you're a clone and you're trying to keep yourself alive pretty much. And there's also vehicles in Fallen Earth. There's other players, of course, because it's an MMO, and it is quite a bit different. It's got a same vibe, but it's different in a lot of smaller aspects. It reminds me of Defiance a little bit too, with the focus on vehicles, because vehicles are a pretty central focus of Fallen Earth, although they are a little bit of a pain to obtain, and that's sort of a running theme throughout the game. It does take quite a while to obtain a lot of things. Some of the earliest missions in the game, I haven't played it in a while. Just now playing it again, I'm still pretty early in the game, and from what I remember playing it a while ago, there's some early missions that want you to do certain things, and you kind of have to grind right away to be able to level up enough to do those things in the first place, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because there is a lot to do in this game, so there's a lot of easy ways to level up and earn money and discover stuff and get new stuff and things like that, but it can be a little bit slow paced sometimes. More so than the game itself, though, I mostly wanted to talk about the game's re-release, because I just think it's really interesting when things like this happen, because they don't usually happen. So, as I mentioned, this game originally was released in 2009, and I think it was a paid game back then. I actually even have a physical copy of this game. When I did, I think one of those unboxing videos I did a couple years ago, I got a physical copy of this game for really cheap somewhere, brand new, and I don't know if that would still work now, but it got released like that, and then eventually it transitioned to free to play. It's on Steam now and stuff, and it shut down. It shut down in the late 2010s sometime. I'm not totally sure when actually, but it shut down, and and that kind of made sense. I mean, the game had been around for almost a decade at that point. It was pretty outdated at that point. Even though it's still really fun, it was showing its age, and there probably wasn't that many people playing it. However, when they did that, they also said that they were going to eventually release a reboot of this game. And so some time goes by, and I don't remember how I found out that this game had been relaunched. I think it was somewhere on Twitter, because I see a ton of gaming news on Twitter all the time. And sure enough, the game had been relaunched. It wasn't the reboot or anything. It was the original game. It was like they just kicked the servers right back on. I don't think anybody's old characters transferred over, but the game was exactly as it had been. And even more so, they actually took out some of the pay stuff, because this game was free to play, so there was paid stuff. So far as I know now, there's not actually anything you can buy with real money in it either. So it's just kind of like the game itself, no microtransactions so far as I can tell. And I don't really know how they're making any money off of the game to have been kept it up for like 2 more years now, because it got re-released in October 2021 according to Wikipedia. But it's still there, and it's still fully playable so far as I can tell, and it's pretty dang fun. It's just a really interesting story when things like that happen, because not that many games come back from the dead like that. And it's really cool that this one did, because it is a really enjoyable game, and it's pretty unique. There's not that many apocalypse MMOs out there, I think, that can capture that really unique vibe almost that sort of Fallout New Vegas in particular, not even necessarily the Fallout franchise, but just Fallout New Vegas in particular had. And this game gets real dang close. So anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video talking about it. I don't really have anything review-wise or anything to say. I just got some gameplay. I want to talk about it for a few minutes because it was on my list of videos to make. So thanks for watching. See you in other stuff in the future, and bye-bye.